So today's lecture is on buying for different retail formats. In the previous section or in the previous unit we have discussed about the significance of buying in the retail sector. In this section we will focus on how the buying function varies or differs from one store to another because different stores have different requirements. For example, a departmental store and a discount store, they both buys the product in large quantities, but a discount store buys the product at a comparatively lower price. So we have already defined buying. Buying is all about acquiring the products from the manufacturers or the wholesalers by paying a certain amount of money so as to fulfill the requirements of the customers. Now let's start with buying different type of products. What is a product? Product refers to any tangible or intangible offerings that a marketer offers so as to satisfy the needs and the wants of the customers. Now product is one of the four essential elements of the marketing mix. What is marketing mix? Marketing mix can be defined as a collection of tools used for achieving set marketing objectives. It mainly consists of 4 P's. Number 1, place. Number 2, price. Number 3, promotion. And number 4, product. So product, price, place, promotion. Now these 4 P's corresponds to the 4 C's of the consumers or the customers, depending upon how the marketer is able to communicate the 4 P's. Now the first P, that is a product, relates to the consumers, that what particular product you are trying to sell is satisfying the needs and the want of the consumers. Similarly, the price corresponds to the cost. The price offered by a marketer is acceptable to the consumers or not, at what cost the consumer is willing to buy the particular product. Similarly, place, the marketer decides a place, that is in this case a retail shop. Now in this retail store, whether it is convenient for the consumer or not. So the place corresponds to the convenience of the consumers. And the 4th P, that is promotion, it corresponds to the communication, that how effective your communication is, or how effective your promotion is corresponding to the communication, or how the consumer feels that the marketer is communicating with the customers. So let's now come to different type of products. First of all, we'll define core product. What is a core product? Core products, they are related to the core competencies of any company or any organization. For example, in case of Microsoft Windows, it's the core product of Microsoft. Second type of product which we are going to discuss is a convenience product. Now convenience product, what are convenience products? Convenience products are those products which for buying those products we do very little effort. We don't do a lot of searching. For example, when we go and purchase pen, paper, we can go to the grocery stores, to the hardware stores, to any other stores and easily find the product. Now convenience goods are divided into 3 categories. Number 1, staples. Number 2, emergency goods. And number 3, impulse goods. Now what are staples? Staples which are consumed regularly for maintaining the basic lifestyle. For example, groceries. For example, cereals. Similarly, next are the emergency goods. What are emergency goods? Emergency goods are the goods which we purchase or buys only on the emergency basis. For example, on a rainy day we go and purchase an umbrella. Similarly, if we are sick, then we go to a medicine shop and purchase paracetamol or any other medicine which is required or which is prescribed by the doctor. Similarly, next type of product we have is the impulse product. Impulse product, you don't have to apply any rational senses, rational thought. It has to do very little with the mental or the rational decision making abilities of a person. It's just sheer out of your, something you feel. If you go to a shop and you feel a smell is very good, then you will purchase a perfume, right? Similarly, it say for example chocolates. If you like chocolates, you see a chocolate on in any of the shop, you will purchase the chocolate. So it's meant to satisfy your five senses. Smell, your what you hear. If you hear a very good music, you can go and buy a CD or a cassette of that particular song or that particular movie. So these are so this was a brief description of the about the type of the products. Now let's come to the assortment of products. What is the assortment? Product assortment. Product assortment is also known as a product mix. What is a product mix? Product mix, they are the total number of product lines which are being offered by a company or by a marketer to a consumers. Now product mix or the product assortment consists of the length, breadth, depth and consistency. Now let's come to the length and the breadth concept of the product assortment or the product mix. What is the breadth? Breadth is the number of product lines that an organization provides to the consumers. For example, in case if let's talk about any FMCG companies, or let's talk about any let's talk about HUL, Hindustan Unilevers. Now you have different product width would consist of, say, food category, number 1, home care, number 2, personal care, number 2, water, number 3, number 4. So this is the breadth of a product. Similarly, when we talk about the length of a product refers to the product assortments. For example, in case of food care, we see tea is being offered. Similarly, coffee is being offered. Similarly, if we talk about the home care, we have soaps and detergents for washing clothes. For if we talk about the personal cares, we have the soaps for washing our face. We have shampoos. Now let's talk about the depth of the product. Depth of the product. If we talk about the depth of the product, it means the variants or the variety in a product. For example, if you talk about personal care, if you talk about shampoos, then if you talk about let's say head and shoulders, then in different variants the head and shoulders is coming. For example, for normal hairs, for dandruffs, for dry hairs. So this is the depth of the product, and then how consistent these products are related to each other. It defines the consistency. Now for buying any product, retailers categorize the products on the basis of various factors such as the design of a product, the features of the product, the quality of the product and the durability of the product. The design is very important because it determines that how the product looks like, whether it is attractive in comparison to the other products or not. Any company or any organization, they depend a huge amount of money on marketing, on research and development, and try to create innovative product designs, because the new and the trendy changes, they are bound to attract large number of customers. Next factor is the features which the retailer or the buyer thinks about before buying the product. The features of the product, such as the basic characteristics, the weight, color, appearance, how handy the product is, and buyers prefer to buy such products, or the consumers rather prefer to buy such products which are very highly attractive and they are more sellables. The next factor is the quality. Quality is also very important because some customers are very keen on quality. They have set a standard, set preferences, and they would not buy a product anything less than that particular standards. So the quality consideration is an important factor. Similarly, durability of a product is very important. If the product is not durable, the consumers will not be willing to buy the products. Because say for example Nokia is known for its high durability. Now on the basis of product mix, retailers can be divided into following categories: general merchandisers, number 1; number 2, multiple line or specialty merchandisers; number 3, single line or specialty merchandisers. Now what are general merchandisers? General merchandisers are not specialized in any particular type of product or any particular type of good. They have a collection of general merchandise. For example, your local kirana stores, grocery stores. Next is the multiple line specialty merchandisers. Now these offers they offer a narrow breadth but a deep depth of the products. The width is the breadth is very narrow, but there is a deep assortment. For example, Planetum is a music store. It is only confined to the music or to the cassettes and the CDs. So the breadth is very narrow, but you will have a wide assortment or a wide length. Similarly, next is the single line specialty merchandisers. They deal in a single product line. For example, a showroom of Raymonds. For example, a showroom of Timex or Titan. So they have a very narrow depth and very narrow width of a product. Now let's talk about buying for different formats of retail. Before this, I would like to discuss about the different retail formats. I have discussed earlier, but now let's start again. In brief, we'll discuss about departmental store, discount store, specialty store, supermarket, convenience stores, off-price retail stores. So let's start with departmental stores. So these are the different formats of retail. Departmental store. What is a departmental store? It offers a wide and a large offering of consumer goods, like for example clothing, furnitures, household appliances, etc. So the departmental store example would be Shoppers Stop, Pantaloons. Similarly, let's talk about the discount stores. They also offer a large volume of products but at a comparatively lesser price. For example, Big Bazaar. Specialty stores, they offer a limited product lines with specialized goods, like we discussed about Planetum, Woodland, Nike. Supermarket, it also keeps low cost products, but it includes both food and non-food items. That is the basic difference between the hypermarket and the supermarket. Supermarket has only food items and hypermarket has both food and non-food items. For example, Food Bazaar in the Big Bazaar is a supermarket. It only has food items. Whereas in case of if we talk about Big Bazaar as a whole, it is a hypermarket. Next, we talked about the convenience stores. Convenience stores, they are located in the residential areas for the convenience of the consumers. For example, Reliance Fresh. Next, we talk about off-price retail stores. They offer the products at a comparatively lesser cost. Why? Because these stores, they offer leftover products, the products which have some defects, some minor defects, or the orders have been cancelled. Such retailers, they put on these products and sell them. For example, Mega Mart. So these are the different types of stores which we discussed. Now let's talk about buying for different types of stores. But before this, I would just like to say that retailers, irrespective of any store for which the buyer is buying, they consider the following factors. Number one is the quality of the merchandise, time taken for the delivery of the merchandise, location of the buying or the procurement center from the store, and the profits. What is the marginal benefits, marginal variations, how much margin they will be getting on buying a particular product in bulk or as the case may be. Now let's talk about buying in the departmental stores. So as already discussed, departmental stores, it offers wide variety of consumer goods. For example, clothing, furniture, household appliances. Examples would be Shopper Stop, pantaloons. These are all the departmental stores. Now buying in departmental stores is mainly confined to a single to a central unit, that is called a flagship store, and the flagship store is responsible for buying for all the stores. And the flagship stores, these take these also they also perform the other tasks such as maintaining the inventory, finding the suppliers, negotiating with the prices, etc. But a buyer, in any case, if he is buying for any of the formats, his astute ability is very important. Astute ability, that is, he should be very good in making the decision making, or very good in making the judgments. So that is very important for any buyer. So this is how the buying takes place in the departmental stores. Buying in the departmental stores, the buyers, they purchase the merchandise from well-known manufacturers, and sometimes the department stores, they also depend a lot on the wholesalers for producing their products. The wholesalers, they assemble the products and then they supply to the departmental stores. Now let's talk about discount stores. Discount stores, as already we have discussed, that they also buy large volume of products but at a comparatively low cost, so they have low profit margin. For example, Vishal Mega Mart, V Mart, K Mart, etc. Now most of the discount stores, they work in collaborations or in cooperation with the suppliers and the manufacturers, and they try to get the merchandise directly from them so as to reduce the number of channels. Now sometimes it happens that these discount stores, they procure globally from a very low cost center. For example, Walmart has a procurement center in Bangalore, and it procures all its goods from this particular center, and it procures the goods from not only from India but also from the neighboring countries, and they all go to Bangalore, and from Bangalore they are shipped to different parts of the world. So discount store buying happens like this. Now next is the specialty stores. Specialty stores, as already discussed, they offer limited number of brands of a particular product category. For example, Planetum, Titan, Didamas. Now procurement in case of, or buying in case of specialty stores, specialty stores, they decide whether they should manufacture the particular product or they should outsource it from any other supplier or manufacturer. They have to look at the cost and benefit aspect. So in case if a merchandise is going to be supplied by a domestic or international, in case if the merchandise is going to be supplied by a wholesaler, then they have to decide whether it has to be from a domestic market or from the international market. So next is your supermarket. Supermarket, they also offer a wide variety of products, and the area of the supermarket is generally from 4,000 to 10,000 square feet. Supermarket, for example, you have I've already told you the food bazaar. Food bazaar is food bazaar is a supermarket, and hypermarket is the entire big bazaar. Now supermarkets, when it comes to buying, they have their own warehouse for buying the merchandise from the various manufacturers, and then the merchandise is merchandise from all over the country that is shipped to a central. They have a central warehouse facility, and from these central warehouse facilities, it is sent out to or transported to different stores. So warehouse, they work as buyers for the supermarkets, and then they use the buying power to procure the merchandise from the merchandisers at a lower price than the other stores. So it's very competitive. It's a very competitive market. Now supermarkets, what they do is they in order to minimize their cost, or because sometimes they have the financial crunches, so they allow a credit facility. They don't pay the merchandisers immediately. They may pay after 30 days, a credit facility of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or whatever the contract could be. Outlet stores or the off-price retailers, which we have discussed, that they sell the products which are slightly defective, or the orders have been cancelled. So it's basically they sell their own products rather than sourcing it from any other vendor or suppliers. So the manufacturer has opened their own stores. For example, you have the factory outlets of many stores. If you go to Delhi, Mahipalpur is famous for it. Next we'll talk about the chain stores. Chain stores, for example, fast food restaurants like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, they offer standard products throughout the stores, irrespective of the store you are having a burger. The McDonald's burger would be same or standardized in all the stores. So the buying is also centralized, just like we discussed in the case of departmental store, where you have the central flagship store buying for all the stores. Similar is the case with the chain stores. Now in case of the next comes the sole proprietorship stores or the independent stores. These are the stores which are owned by a single person, the local kirana shops. So but they have a very limited bargaining power. They purchase as per the requirement, because they are able to communicate or talk with the customers on one-to-one basis, so they know exactly their taste and preferences. But the limitation is that they have a limited bargaining powers, and they don't have the economies of scale. So the next topic we will discuss about the organizational structure of the organizational structure and the buying function. So buying could be categorized into broadly two categories. One is centralized buying, and the other one is the decentralized buying. In centralized buying, the decision making is mainly made at the top management level. On the other hand, in decentralized structures or decentralized buying, the decision is made by the designated stores. So let's talk about centralized and decentralized buying. We'll do a comparative study on both of them. Centralized buying is more controlled, as the process is controlled by the few hands, However, in case of decentralized buying, the control is less, as the decisions are made at the various levels. In case of centralized buying, the buying is usually made in bulk. However, in case of decentralized buying, the buying is made in small quantities. In case of centralized buying, the order is large, because it would have a better purchase term. In case of decentralized buying, large scale purchase is not recommended. In case of centralized buying, you need a specialized staff, and you have a specialized team, in fact, designated to to help the procurement or buying. However, in case of decentralized buying, the specialized skills are not required. It is a very highly efficient process in case of centralized buying, whereas decentralized buying, it is not all that efficient. Not efficient in making decisions or buying decisions. The next difference is about the standardization. In case of centralized buying, the merchandise is highly standard. For example, we discussed about the McDonald's, for example. However, in case of decentralized buying, you don't need to have a very standardized merchandise. The cost of investment in case of centralized buying is much higher as compared to decentralized buying. Since we purchase in bulk, in case of centralized buying, the operational cost is reduced. However, in case of decentralized buying, the operational cost is comparatively higher. Now, transportation cost in case of centralized buying is high, because from the centralized warehouse it has to be distributed to all across the stores, wherever the stores are. In case of decentralized buying, the transportation cost is comparatively less. Local buying in case of decentralized buying is more. In case of centralized buying, it is less. Similarly, you require a large working capital for centralized buying. However, in case of decentralized buying, you don't need that much capital. Relatively, a lower amount of capital would work. Now, lastly, we'll discuss about consignment buying. The buyer has, if a buyer is inept, or if the buyer lacks the skills which is required to negotiate, to buy the products, to study the market, to study the consumers, if the buyer is inept, then it would definitely it would impact the organizational buying skills, or the buyer would not be all that competent, because buying is a very imperative part of retail. So one has to have that astute, what I discussed earlier. Now, lastly, we'll discuss about the consignment buying. Consignment buying is a type of buying where the possession of the merchandise or the ownership of the merchandise is not passed on to the retailer till the time the product is being sold out. Once a product is sold, then the ownership is transferred. So the ownership lies with the manufacturer or the seller. So it is a sort of a relationship of a consignor and a consignee. So consignor and a consignor, that means that the ownership is with the manufacturer or the suppliers till the time the product is purchased by a consumer. In case if the product is not purchased by the consumer, then the product is taken back by the supplier or the manufacturer, right? So it's just like you say, for example, there is a store, you are the manufacturer, you place your product in a particular store. If the product is sold out, you are paid out. In case if the product is not sold out, then you will take back the product. So the merchandise is sold at the risk of a consignor. Consignor is the manufacturer or the supplier, and the consignee is the retail store owner. I guess it's clear. It's the consignment buying is done to avoid the hegemony of different manufacturers or different sellers. The hegemony means the dominance of a particular group over the other. So I mean the manufacturers or the sellers, wholesalers, they should not have a dominance over the retail store. So this is all about buying for different retail formats. In case of any questions, you are always welcome. Thank you.